Welcome back to Live Now Detroit at 4. Southeast Michigan getting a decent view of the total solar eclipse, but for an even better view of the rare phenomenon, many traveled to Toledo, the imagination station there hosting the ultimate celestial event. Joining us now is Chief Scientist Carl Nelson. And Carl, it has been a very busy day for you.
It has. We started at 6 o'clock this morning getting things set up, all leading up to that 312 totality that we experienced.
And Alan told me to make sure I asked you this question, so I'm going to do that now before I forget. He said, how did you feel when Derek tried to use the pinhole projector? Apparently he was using that incorrectly.
He did. They had it sort of reversed, but literally it is a common mistake because you see the lens that's on it and you think, oh, I need to look through the lens, but actually it's just completely the other way. We use the lens to sharpen the image of the sun, but it's fine. Everybody has a little confusion at first.
Right, and apparently Derek definitely had some. As a scientist, how many solar eclipses have you been able to witness?
I've seen partial solar eclipses, I've seen the annular solar eclipses, and I've seen one total solar eclipse today.
Awesome. And about how long did the eclipse last there? And can you tell me a little bit about, what was it like being in the path of totality?
Yeah, absolutely. It was about a 2-minute eclipse, 1 minute, 54 seconds. And you read about this stuff ahead of time and you're prepared to answer questions that other people have. And, in the moment, it was incredible. I lost for words, actually, because the lighting slowly dimmed, but then just before totality, it dropped like a rock. And the lighting was just weird. It was like a steely gray color. It just didn't look right. And then during totality, the thing that got me the most, like emotionally, was the sound of the crowd. Man, like everybody was coming and it was just like, just like this communal battle cry of sorts. And then during totality, it was, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of words for it because I was trying to not get emotional and cry because I didn't want to obscure my vision. I wanted to be able to keep watching it. And we could see prominences coming off from the south in the 9 o'clock hour on the sun's surface. And then it was done. And it went by so incredibly fast, faster than 2 minutes would seem. And then afterwards, I'm thinking, dang, I forgot to notice the temperature drop. I forgot to look for all these other things. And, I was just so caught up in the moment that all I could really do was stare at the sun. Now I know why people say it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for most people, mostly because where it falls on the Earth. Here in Toledo, the last time we had one was 1806. The next time, 2099. Detroit won't have a total solar eclipse until 2444. So we nailed it. We saw it. It was amazing. A little bit of high cloud cover, but we saw right through it. And it was just an unspeakable moment. I loved it.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear how people attempt to describe the moment. Derek and Alan had an interview earlier in the show with a school teacher who was there at the Imagination Station. And, they asked her to kind of explain it. And just like you, she was at a loss for words because it's that spectacular. It's a bit difficult to explain to others, right?
Yeah, I think so. And for me, I think one thing that I would take forward is we talked a lot about totality when we talked to people about the eclipse coming here. I would expand that to include that time period where the light is changing and it's getting darker and it's a weird dark. That on both sides combined with totality, that was the eclipse. It wasn't just getting dark and seeing the corona. It was the bookends on both sides. That made it a whole package for me.
Yeah, and the solar eclipse is over, but it looks and sounds like the party is still going there behind you at the museum.
It is. We stayed open late today thinking, there might be traffic for people leaving, so we've got a whole bunch of activity stations. We've got food trucks. We have beer, coffee, candy, ice cream, anything you can think of. It is like a big party. We probably had over 5,000 people here today.
Wow.
Between, now or 6 in the morning and right now. So I think for us, it was an amazingly successful event. And And the cherry on top was that we got people excited about science. We got them to experience a once-in-a-lifetime experience and do it as a group. And I think that group sense of awe just makes it so much better.
Oh, that's so incredible to hear, Carl. We appreciate you for speaking with us today. Thank you.
Sure, thanks for having us.